we're here for the party. Trust me, we're just getting started. The sound, the vibe, I feel so alive. You're only here for the party. I might just get what I wanted. The sound, the vibe, I feel so alive.
So welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I'll be demonstrating how I make my Caribbean green seasoning. Very simple steps and simple ingredients. As you see here, these are some fresh herbs that I got the day before. Wash them, make sure they're dry. Also, we're going to be using some white onions, garlic. You can use as much and as little of the ingredients that you want. I'll also be using some sweet pepper or capsicum. Here I have a yellow one and also a red one. And in addition, I'll be using some ginger, like a thumb size, not all this ginger. And I will also be using some olive oil. I don't add water to my green seasoning, and you'll see why. Before we get deep into this green seasoning, I also want to show you how I make a quick red bell pepper and tomato seasoning that I use a lot. I just use tomatoes, dice them, red bell peppers, and garlic. That's it. I blend it, not to a very fine puree, but I keep it a bit chunky. And then I store them into containers in the freezer. And I use as I need. You can use this for your purees. You can use it to make your gravies. It gives it a lot of body and a lot of flavor. You can use it for pizza, pasta sauce. Very versatile. So you can also try this out and use it as one of your staples when you're cooking your flavorful food. All right, so welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're in the kitchen again, and as I promised in my last video about meal prepping, I will show you how I also bulk prep some of my seasonings. Today we're doing the Caribbean green seasoning. Now for this recipe, you can use whatever you have accessible to you. So you don't have to use the exact ingredients that I have. Based on your taste buds, whatever you want your flavor profile to be, you can add and subtract. What I really love about making this seasoning also, it's very handy, especially if you're busy, a busy mom, if you're a busy professional who has time to be cutting onions all the time. So it's very handy. You whip it out, use it for whatever meals that you prefer to use it for. And you can also store it in the freezer for up to 3 months. So a win is a win, right? Okay, let's get to making the seasoning. So let's jump straight into our Caribbean green seasoning, the thing that's gonna give or elevate your meals to the next level. So I usually start by dicing my onions. Now you can cut them pretty big. This depends on how powerful your blender or food processor is. So you can use either appliance to make your green seasoning. I don't have a very powerful food processor, so I use my blender, but it's pretty powerful. So I can cut them pretty big, not too big, and it gets the job done without having to add water. Now I managed to cut my onions without crying. Do you have a method to do this? How do you cut your onions without bringing tears to your eyes? I know some people will say they put like a slice of bread in their mouth to absorb the juices of the onions. Let me know in the comments how you do it. So next here we cut our capsicum or sweet peppers. I also dice these pretty big. You cut them, remove the seeds from them. You can wash them. So cut them as big as you want or as small as you need to, like I said, depending on how powerful your appliance is, and put them aside, get them ready for blending. Now I use my capsicum as the base, so this is what will give the base for my seasoning. I start the blending process with these first before I add my fresh green seasoning. Then next we start dicing our fresh green seasonings. Give them a nice rough chop. Doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be perfect. You just chop them the way that you can. chop them. Make sure they're washed also. So I usually prep them the day before. I don't want them to be waterlogged. So I usually wash them the day before and dry them out, air dry, sun dry them, so that they're not waterlogged or holding too much water when it's time to blend them. So this is what the first batch or the first blend looks like. And so I'll just add more and then we continue the blending process. So you just keep adding depending on the capacity of your blender. You keep adding, keep blending until you get that consistency that you like. Now, some people like that nice chunky consistency without any smoothness. So you can blend to that point, stop, store, freeze, or however you prefer to store your seasonings. But if you're going to use it right away, then you do that. I also add my olive oil to continue with the blending process here. And let's look at the consistency that we'll get after we've added just a bit of olive oil, not too much, maybe like half of a tablespoon. So after that, I just blend until I get to my desired consistency. So here we have it. This is the consistency that I really like. Ooh, if you could smell the aroma in my kitchen. Ooh, it smells good. So at this point now, I add just a bit of lemon juice. This helps to prevent any browning of the seasoning because I usually make a batch that I can freeze and some that I'll use right away. So like I said, you can use as much or as little of the fresh green seasonings that you prefer. And I can guarantee you that this is just going to elevate your meals. You can use this for your rice. You can use it as a marinade. You can use it for almost anything. Some people may call it pesto, but it's not. The great thing about this seasoning, you can freeze it for up to 3 months and use it as you like. So feel free to add your personality to this seasoning, whether it be chilies, Scotch bonnet, whatever it is, you add it to this seasoning. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and I hope you try one of these seasonings. Let me know how it's elevated your cooking. See you on the next video.